Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Redflex. Manchester United 1, Watford 0. And here with the match reaction for the first 50 minutes of the match is our very own Cass. For those of you who have not been seeing the previous streams, Cass has done the unthinkable. He's done something that I never thought anyone at the Redflex would ever do. But that shameful act, that unforgivable, shameful act has been done by you. Do you want me to tell them? Or have you got enough in the tank to say yourself?
I think because people have so much respect and love for you, if you tell them, I might get away with it.
So those of you who are watching this video, I'd like to apologize on behalf of the Redflex. I'd like to distance ourselves from any of this. It's not something the rest of the three members, the experienced heads, do. This is not something we condone.
I'm still young.
Yeah, he's the youngest member of the Redflex, and I don't think age can come into this. It's something that you'll have to be reprimanded for. I'm sorry, I'm saying it live to the world. It's something that you'll have to be reprimanded for. Unfortunately, Cass fell asleep for the second half of this match. I'd just like to apologize. I have no words. I don't really know what to say. Have you got anything in your defense before I make my judgment?
In my defense, and I know this isn't the correct platform, but a great burger joint, Side Street in Greater Manchester, has opened.
Have they sponsored us? Are they sponsoring us currently?
They could be. It's in the works. A double stacker, and the chips were amazing, and that knocked me out. It knocked me cold out, and I woke up around the 92nd minute. So it was good food.
I think we might have to send those burgers to the Liverpool team then before the game.
Absolutely, absolutely. What a great burger it was, by the way.
That is. I feel no. I certainly hope that burger comes to haunt you when you go to the toilet tonight, because you have done a disservice to the fans.
If not tonight, definitely the morning. Definitely the morning. If not,
yeah. I hope it was worth it. Hope it was worth it. But yeah, moving swiftly on from the unforgivable discretion that you did. So for the first 55 minutes of the match, I'd like your thoughts on Man United's performance. I'd like to start with the defense. So the partnership between BeIN and Tuanzebe are so-called fast centre-backs. Tell me about it.
Yeah, so I think a lot of Man United fans have come under the illusion that, Man United versus Watford, FA Cup third round, it's not a big game. It's just something that, let's just see. And, myself included, I fell asleep. But the first thing I just want to pick at is that is a sign of how we've developed in itself. If you go back a few years, these kind of games, we would be struggling. We would be struggling in these kind of games. And we struggled today as well, but we got the win. In terms of the question, in terms of BeIN and Tuanzebe, I thought it was a very, very important game for BeIN and Tuanzebe, because I think having putting up with Maguire and Lindelof, which I think is going to happen again because BeIN's got injured, that is going to be a detriment to Man United season. And I will stick my neck out on the line and say that will cost us. That pairing will cost us. Winning things. It'll be the difference between seconds, thirds, semi-finals, and winning things. Because I think BeIN and Tuanzebe, don't get me wrong, they didn't have a perfect game today. BeIN gave the ball away. Tuanzebe was in a bit of a sticky situation where Henderson came out and it got cleared off the line, I believe. But if I was a manager, the vision that I have for football, you want your defenders to be nasty. You want your defenders to be aggressive. You want your defenders to just clear the ball and take everything with them. And BeIN and Tuanzebe are everything and some with that. So BeIN being injured is a big disappointment. And I would throw Tuanzebe. What do you think? Because I would throw Tuanzebe and Maguire. I think that's a better partnership than Lindelof and Maguire. Lindelof's weak and he can be got out.
Potentially, but to be fair, I don't think I saw enough from Tuanzebe to kind of warrant a place in the team. To be fair,
It wasn't
based on that performance alone, yeah, based on that performance alone. But then again, you can't really say anything because obviously, you know, they're playing with 11 players who weren't really match fit, match sharp. There wasn't that rhythm, there wasn't the intensity. But again, based on that, no. But then again, it was a poor Watford team. He didn't really have to do that much. So maybe that was on the back of his mind as well. Maybe he'd had a burger as well before the game. You don't know. In the comments, we'd like to hear your what's it called? What Cass needs to do to apologize to the fans. So first one we've got is make him pie himself in the face live for the disrespect. I think that's pretty good in my book. That I'm having that. So if you've got any more comments like that of how he should appease the Redflex family, then let us know in the comments below. So the Wingbacks, did they do anything for you in terms of
I think
pushing for a start?
Yeah, I think this game kind of gave us a lot of answers to some of the questions that were lingering over Old Trafford in terms of Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. So we had Brandon Williams, who, as far as I've seen him, he's been playing at left back. Correct me if I'm wrong, but officially he's a right back. I was told he's a right back.
Yeah.
So did I see anything? Let me just get this charger on. Did I see anything that makes me think otherwise? Did I think his performance was great? No. So I think Aaron Wan-Bissaka still needs somebody to give him competition and any cooperation. Because don't get me wrong, obviously we're watching football, but in any line of workplace, in any kind of establishment, you need competition, and I think that's something that might improve Wan-Bissaka's performances. So I don't think Williams is the answer, definitely with right back. In terms of the left back position, Tellez, you know what? He might not have had the greatest game, but I'm one of them where he's got that unpredictability about him. He can do anything. He'll go for a shot. He'll go for a cross. You know, he might just go for a slide tackle. And I love those kind of players. I think those are the players that, you know, fit the United shirt, because it's not just about winning and losing at United. It's about the brand, and I think he's definitely a Man United player, and I think it's a good competition between him and Shaw.
Yeah, to be fair, the more crosses you get in the box, the more chances you've got. Really, if the ball's not in the box, you know, it's unlikely that you're going to score. We've got some nice comments coming in here. Pour cold water over himself, shirtless in the freezing cold. To be fair, I don't really want to do anything that's detriment to his health, because obviously we live in tough times when it comes to health conditions. I don't want to make him susceptible. I don't want to make him susceptible to getting ill, so I refuse that one immediately. Shave your hair off using a blade. Oh, that's a tasty one.
Precise.
Yeah, I think that's going to cause him long-term detriment. So the short-term one so far, the pie in the face is good.
I don't think anybody wants to see me without hair. That is not the man that's going to be on YouTube with no hair.
I don't think that's too much of a long-term issue for him. Blade now, wax job. Maybe you might have to get someone to do a bit of live waxing on your chest or something. Strip of wax and just rip it off. I like that. Wax his chest. AA says as well. Want to hear the screams? Yeah, I'm all about that. That might be the one.
Unbelievable comment. Get this guy banned. Report this. Who is this guy? Report him.
The guy. They want to see you suffer. They're disgusted with you. They're absolutely disgusted with you.
I have a family. I've got a family to feed.
Yeah. That's disgusting. But yeah, we've got some nice comments coming in. But yeah, so Wingbacks, yeah. Let's move into midfield. Obviously, a lot of talk about Donny van der Beek. What do you think?
Yeah. I think this kind of game, it's difficult to stand out because it's not got, you know, a lot on the line. Sometimes in the Premier League games, the context of, you know, the store in terms of our title charge, in terms of, you know, Ole in and out, there's a lot of things that kind of take away, you know, the attention sometimes. But the flip side is these kind of games, not everybody's looking at the game or analysing the game as much. You can't really stand out. I think Donny had an okay game. I wouldn't say 20 years down the line we'll be like, do you remember that performance against
Watford?
No,
it was never going to be that. It was never going to be that. Not with this,
so
the pressure.
I think he did all right. Would you agree? I think he did all right.
In my thing, I really liked Donny van der Beek's performance. It was one of those quiet, you know, not making any headlines. He didn't lose the ball. kept the ball going, always making forward passes. You know, those unsung hero type of performances. Yeah, the intensity wasn't there because the opposition was poor and we didn't really have to do much. But if he was to replicate that in a big game, I'd be all over that. So moving on. So Donny van de Beek was okay. Mata, you want to say anything about Mata, Lingard?
I think in terms of Lingard, he's approaching a very crucial point in his career. Let's not forget, I've mentioned it in a previous video, not so long ago, he was in Gareth Southgate's England plans. He was in the Euros team, quite an integral part of Jose Mourinho's Man United team. He's not going to play, let's be honest. Bruno Fernandes isn't going anywhere. Donny can barely get a game. We've got the stranglehold of Fred and McTominay, Solskjaer.
He's never going to.
He's not going to play, so he needs to move on. Did he do anything that I think, he's going to save his Man United career? Absolutely not. Juan Mata was busy, good, nice passing, kept it ticking. Nothing.
I liked his performance, to be fair. I liked his performance. He was tidy. He was tidy. Nothing special, but he was tidy with the ball.
I think he looks better when you've got players like Bruno, especially if you've got Donny and Bruno and Pogba. Yeah. Mata, you can get more out of him because he's got the footballing brain and he can see a pass. And I think you would enjoy playing with players like that.
Yeah,
so I agree with that.
A few more comments. AA thinks SYG has a lot of hatred for Cass, but SYG has responded, "No, he's the entertainer. I want to be entertained to get 200 views minimum."
SYG's a businessman. He wants the views.
He wants the views, yeah. AA says Cass is the future of the Redflex. The future, but he may not have a future after if he carries on like this, to be fair. Might not have a future. Soon K says there needs to be a yeah. Soon K says there needs to be a forfeit, make him kiss the badge of Man City. No, we don't. We're not doing that. He'll never do that.
We're not that kind of show.
We're not that kind of show. No, we're not doing that. No. He must be punished so he can tell this story to the next generation of Redflex hosts. Yep. Wear the Liverpool shirt live on air. Never can't allow that. Do not want to see that, unfortunately. It is a nice forfeit. Maybe something for like the Instagram, but I'm not having that on my I'm not having that filth. I'm not having that filth on the YouTube. Not having that filth on YouTube. Not having it. But yeah, great suggestions. Keep them coming. So Mason Greenwood up front on his own. For me, he's not the answer, and he didn't really push for a place to become the lone striker. Again, difficult because he didn't have the quality around him, but didn't show it for me.
Mason Greenwood, if you remember last season, I think around when COVID first kind of hit, he was the name on everybody's lips, the next great England hope, the pressure that came with it, the pomp that came with it. Then obviously encountered some issues when away from international duty. And I think ever since then, it's kind of just not felt right with Greenwood. He kind of missed the first few games. He then came into the team, but I think on paper he was meant to be starting up front today. But as of right now, I'm not going to write him off or anything. I think he's a great talent. He's a great finisher. But as of right now, he's not the answer. In long term, Rashford, I don't think he's a striker. Martial hasn't shown me anything to suggest that he's the long-term striker. Greenwood at the moment isn't a striker, so there's a big, big problem in that department. And I may have said it again in a previous video, but if you look around the world, and I'd love to get your thoughts on this, Hussey, as well, but there isn't a standout candidate that you'd think that could potentially fill that role. We've got Cavani, but you look around world football, who is there? I can't think of any. That's attainable.
Haaland. Got a release clause for next year. The reason why we've got Edison Cavani for 2 years is because we're going to bide our time waiting for that. I think we're going to go big for him this summer.
But who's his agent? Who is his agent?
Who's his agent? But if the thing is, there's no guarantee that Solskjaer is still going to be in a job next season, as in the end of next season. So for Solskjaer, for him to bring in Haaland this summer, I think is going to be. I think you're going to see that. We've signed 2 right wingers. Yeah, they're young, whatever. But I think that kind of, for me, shuts the door on Sancho to say, look, we'll make do with these 2 youngsters. Let's try and bring them in, rotate them. sometimes let's put Rashford on the right. We'll do without that. You know, maybe get Jack Grealish in on the left, to be fair. But anyway, that's a different conversation. But Haaland, for me, I think is going to be the person coming out of Dortmund to Manchester United, and not Sancho. But we can discuss that at a different time. But in terms of world football, in terms of the style of play that Solskjaer wants from his central striker, I think Haaland ticks every single box. But anyway, moving,
definitely.
Yeah, he's got the relationship as well. And then again, like I said, yeah, that's what I think. I mean, like I said, Mino Raiola, if Solskjaer leaves and Haaland doesn't want to play for the next manager, he'll just leave anyway. So Solskjaer got to be in it for himself. He's got to be greedy. He's got to be like, right, I'll get him in. All right, he might not be a Man United player for 10 years, but at least he can be a Man United player for me and hopefully get me somewhere, keep me in a job. That's how you got to look at it, really. And I think deep down, I think Solskjaer wants him, and that is his preferred option going forward. So, but yeah, is there anyone else left that we haven't mentioned? I think we pretty much mentioned everyone in terms of performances. Out of everyone, who was the standout candidate?
Definitely wasn't Dan James, but I'm not going to go into that.
Oh yeah, I purposely missed him out because I know that you're such a big fan.
I was hoping that you were going to mention him, but then as the video went on, I was like, I'm not going to get the opportunity, so Dan James can rest for tonight. In terms of man of the match in the 55 minutes that I watched, I think McTominay had a good game, personally, not because of he scored the goal, more because I was just analysing, his body language, the way he was kind of trying to organise people, and I think obviously it helped that he was given the captaincy, and from a personal point of view, he must be over the moon, getting the accolade. So many great players, Man United players, have had that honour. He scored a goal. I think when Bailly got injured, he had that little period of play when he played in defence and he made some clearances. He was, rallying the troops. So for me personally, from what I saw of the game,
55 minutes. Based on 55 minutes.
Based on 55 minutes of what I've seen, I'd give it to Scott.
Scott McTominay. Yep.
So, who did you give your man of the match to, by the way?
I wasn't really asked the question, to be fair, but I understand why Scott McTominay was getting the accolades.
Naughty.
Yeah. For me, like I said, I think I liked the work of Donny van de Beek and Mata. Unsung hero work. I understand why Scott was given it because it was all action. He was everywhere. But my reasoning was that why was Scott McTominay having to clear from the 6-yard box time and time again against a very poor Watford team? He shouldn't have needed to. Yeah, he did it and he was in the right place at the right time, and I'm very glad that he was. But he shouldn't have had to. So I think that was an issue with the team performance as to why he needed to make so many last-ditch tackles. Like I said, I didn't really think anyone stood out that much anyway. So I didn't really have a man of the match, but I did like the work of Mata and Van der Beek in terms of like ball rotation and keeping the moves going. But yeah, moving forward, obviously would have liked to have seen Bailly against Burnley. Hopefully, I don't know what's going on. Maybe he might be back for Liverpool, might not be. But going forward, I think we've kind of, other than Tellez, I don't think you think anyone else deserves breaking into the first team. Is that right?
No, I think in terms of did anyone play today that would get into the team, for me personally, no. Obviously, the question will continue and ramble on in terms of Donny, but I think we all know what kind of team we're going to see, especially against Burnley and Liverpool. And I think it's quite fair that nobody really stood out and took their opportunity and say, I'm here, don't forget me, Ole. So I don't think anybody really did enough to change Ole's mind. Yeah,
but at least the majority of our team got a rest, which I think is going to be very important going forward.
Surprised Fernandes didn't play. I thought he was going to sneak on somewhere.
No, he definitely needed a full rest. I think he has been sort of struggling a little bit in terms of keeping the aggression and the passion going for the majority of the game. So yeah, I'm glad that he didn't come on at all, to be fair. But yeah, we can talk a lot more about the Burnley game, so stay tuned. If you haven't already, please like the stream before you go, and obviously subscribe, like, share, comment, and talk about what punishment Qasim deserves for being unprofessional to a level that we cannot condone. So you probably will see a video coming up soon of the punishment of Cass. I'm sorry, but you know, we have to maintain a certain decorum here at the Redflex. But yeah, that's it for now, I think. Thank you very much, Cass, for your words. Always wonderful to hear your perspective on the 55 minutes of Man United. Thanks for watching, guys. Make sure you join us on Twitter and Instagram as well. A lot of content coming up over there as well. And obviously, if you haven't already subscribed to our YouTube channel, The Redflex, we'll see you again very, very soon. Take care and goodbye.